Hello everyone. I am a student of SAS Institute of Management Studies. My name is Akshada Vikas Thakur. I am in MBA Part 1. My presentation is on organizational behavior and my topic name is errors in perception. Presentation indexes meaning, types of perceptions, perceptual process, receiving, selecting, organizing, interpreting, types of perceptual error, strategies for improving perceptual skills. First, meaning. Perception is an intellectual process for transforming sensory stimuli to meaningful information. It is the process of interpreting something that we see or hear in our mind and use it later to judge and give a verdict on a situation, person, group, etc. Types. On sound, the ability to receive sounds by identifying vibrations. On speech, the competence of interpreting and understanding the sounds of language heard. Next, touch, identifying object through patterns of its surface by touching it. Taste, the ability to receive flavor of substances by tasting it through sensory organs known as taste buds. Other senses, they approve perception through body like balance, acceleration, pain, time, sensation felt in throat and lungs, etc. Of the social world. It permits people to understand other individuals and group of their social worlds. Example, Priya goes to the restaurant and likes their customer service. So she will perceive that it is a good place to hang out and will recommend to her friends who may or may not like it. Priya's perception about the restaurant is good. Perceptual process. Perceptual process are the different stages of perception we go through. The different stages are receiving, selecting, organizing, and interpreting. This is the chart for perceptual process. The first one is receiving. Receiving is the first and most important stage in the process of perception. It is the initial stage in which a person collects all the information and receives the information through the sense organs. Next one is selecting. Selecting is the second stage in process. Here, a person doesn't receive the data randomly but selectively. A person selects some information out of all the accordance with his interest or needs. The selection of data is dominated by various external and internal factors. External factors, the factors that influences the perception of an individual externally are intensity, size, contract, movement, repetition, familiar, familiarity, and novelty. Internal factors, the factors that influences the perception of an individual internally. The psychological requirements, learning, background, experience, self-acceptance, and interest. Next one is organizing. Keeping things in order to say in a synchronized way in organization. In order to make sense of the data received, it is important to organize them. We can organize the data by grouping them on the basis of their similarity, proximity, closure, continuity. Establishing a figure ground is the basic process of in perception. Here by figure we mean what is kept as main focus, and by ground we mean background stimuli which are not given it attention. Perceptual constancy, that is the tendency to stabilize perception so that contextual changes don't affect them. And the last one is interpreting. Finally, we have the process of interpreting, which means forming an idea about the particular object depending upon the need or a interest. Interpretation means that the information we have sensed and organized is finally given a meaning by turning it into the something that can be categorized. It includes stereotyping, hollow effect, etc. A perceptual error is the inability to judge humans, things, or situation fairly and accurately. Example could include such things as bias, prejudice, prejudice, stereotypes, which have always caused human beings to err in different aspects of their lives. Perceptual error has strong impact on organization and it hampers in proper decision making skills while hiring, performance, appraisal, review, feedback, etc. Types of perceptual errors. Selective perception. People generally interpret according to their basis of interest, ideas, and backgrounds. It is a tendency not to notice and forget the stimuli that causes emotional discomfort. For example, we might think that the fresher graduates with above 80% marks will exceptionally do well in technical interviews in respective subjects. Hollow effect. We misjudge people in concentrating on one single behavior or trait. It has deep impact and give inaccurate result most of the time. For example, we always have an impression of lazy person can never be punctual in any occasion. Stereotypes. We always have a tendency to classify people to the general groups categories in order to simplify the matter. For example, women are always good homemakers and can do well in work life balance. Contract effect. We always sometimes judge people in comparison to others. This example generally found in sports, academics, and performance review. Projection. This is very common among perceptual errors. Projection is one's own attitude, personality, and behavior into some other persons. For example, to all honest people, everybody is honest. Impression. We all we all know the terms first impression is the last impression, and we apply that too. For example, during the time of the hiring, thought like this always arise. The thought is the most decent and modest person in the interview can do very well in every roles and responsibilities. And the last one strategies for improving perceptual skill. There are 7 strategies. Knowing oneself accurately. One of the powerful ways to minimize perceptual distor- distortions is to know yourself. Empathize with others, have a positive attitude, postpone impression formation, communicating openly, compare one's perceptions with that of others, introducing diversity management programs. That's all. Thank you.